Hey guys, it's Kendall and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do the mid-year book tag. I actually wrote down all the topics that I'm supposed to cover, and I added a few extras based on the different tags that I saw. We're just gonna go through and pick them out. So I have read 19 books this year. A few of them are little novellas, so I don't know if it really counts as a book, but I count it as a book. Maybe to make myself feel better. So I'm hoping to cover every book. This is not only the mid-year book tag, but I also wanted to do my mid-year wrap-up now. So instead of maybe favorite book or worst book or any of the questions I'm going to be answering, I think I'm going to do several books just so I can cover every book and tell you which ones I really loved or really hated. Okay, so the first question that I'm answering is the best book that I have read so far in 2023. So my favorite book of 2023 has to be Ignite Me. Technically, my favorite book is all of the Shatter Me series, but this one is my favorite out of the series, so I had to go with this one. But because I'm trying to cover all my bases, I also am picking Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter as one of my favorite books. As you can see, it's heavily tabbed. I saw that Haley Pham read this and she said it's amazing. She loves Lynn Painter, so I decided to read it as well, and I am obsessed. I love this book. I even made a sweatshirt of it by myself, so it was just so cute. I love the banter so much. I highly recommend reading this book. Next question is, which was the best sequel that I read in 2023? Honestly, once again, I'm gonna have to give it to Ignite Me. I think this is probably like one of the only series that I read was Shatter Me this year. I haven't read any other really series, so I would have to say Ignite Me again is the best sequel. But also, I would say a second contender would be The Vanishing Stair, which is the second book in the Truly Devious series. I absolutely love Truly Devious, so I bought the entire series, the rest of the series. And this one was pretty good. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't as good as Truly Devious, but there are several mysteries, so I will definitely be reading the next few books, and I did also tab this one. So the next question is new release that you haven't read yet but want to, but since I'm doing the mid-year wrap-up, I have read all these books, so I'm just going to show you the newest release that I did read. So I'm sure that you know this book. As soon as it came out, everyone snatched it off the shelves, but this is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I will have to say, I did not love this book. I expected so much more from it. I wanted it to be a fun little comedy. I absolutely loved book lovers. I absolutely hated People We Meet on Vacation, so I hoped that this would lean me more to loving her writing, but it kind of stuck me in the middle, so I don't really know. If you don't know what Happy Place is about, it's about a couple, Harriet and Wynne. They just freshly called off their engagement, but they didn't tell their friends even though they're going on vacation, so they decide not to tell them so that they don't ruin the last vacation that they have. And I expected so much banter, so much fun, but instead I got sadness. I got everything I didn't want. I would have to say my favorite character was Kimmy. I think it's Kimmy, because she gave me what I wanted. I wanted banter, and that character gave me banter. So I think I rated this like a 3.5 out of 5. Sorry if I offended anyone who loves Emily Henry, but I love book lovers, if that makes it better. Just to fully complete the tag, a new release that I haven't read but really want to is, of course, Fourth Wing, because everyone keeps talking about it, saying they finished it in a day. It's so good, so I'm hoping to get my hands on that very soon. The next question is, what was the biggest surprise, the book that surprised me the most? And I would have to say it is Hotel Magnifique by Emily J. Taylor. I picked this up at Target. I saw it all by myself on Instagram. I pride myself on that because every other book that I own, I probably saw on TikTok or on Bookstagram. So this was the one that I found this through the author. I was just scrolling and she was promoting her book, and so I picked it up. I absolutely love this book. 5 out of 5. It's tabbed up. I love the main characters. I absolutely love Belle, who is the main love interest. I mean, It is such a beautiful book, and it heavily reminds me of The Night Circus, and I love The Night Circus, so that's probably why I love this. But I love fantasy, I love magic, and this book gave me all of that, so highly recommend. Sorry, I ran out of breath talking about that. I had to get it out there. Favorite new author. So obviously, Emily J. Taylor. I actually don't know if she has any other books. I haven't looked it up. But of course, Tahereh Mafi. I think I'm saying that right. I really, really hope that I am because I absolutely love her books. I read all of the Shatter Me series this year. Actually, my current read is This Woven Kingdom, also by Tahereh. Still hope I'm saying that right. I am on page 322. So I'm really liking it so far. It was a little bit of a slow start, but I'm really enjoying it right now. Also, going back to Better Than the Movies, also a new favorite author, Lynn Painter. I bought her other book, The Do-Over. I'm hoping to read that very soon. I love the whole idea of getting to relive a day, kind of like Happy Death Day. I thought that was a funny movie, so I'm excited to read The Do-Over. And I want to read her other YA romances as well, so definitely new favorite author. Newest fictional crush. Newest fictional crush. We're not really differentiating from books right now. You haven't seen a lot of the other books that I've read yet, but Warner and Kenji, 100% from Shatter Me, and then also Wes from Better Than the Movies are my new fictional crushes. Also, I'd have to say, even though it wasn't my favorite book this year, The Vanishing Stair, Truly Devious was one of my favorite books, and the character in there, David, has to be also a fictional crush of mine. A book that made me cry. None? I haven't really read any sad books this year, so I can't say that any have made me cry, but I did get kind of sad at the end of Daisy Jones and the Six, just because of the ending of one of the characters, but, I mean, I guess this was not the saddest book, but this one touched on, addiction, so I guess I got upset at the end, sad, but I don't think I've cried to a book yet this year, which is kind of crazy. I say that because I'm always crying at books, but not yet. A book that made me happy, 100% without a doubt, is the Believe Me novella, the very, very end of the Shatter Me series, annotated and everything. I was smiling. I finished this in a day. I was smiling the entire time. It made me so happy. Amazing ending to an amazing series. Most beautiful book. I think that this means in general that I have on my bookshelf, but I'm going to pick from what I've read. Once again, I'm probably going to have to pick Hotel Magnifique. I just love the cover. I love the purple. I don't really own any purple books, so this one really caught my eye. I love it. This is my most beautiful cover of the books that I've read. I guess an honorable mention, this one is also very pretty to me, Things We Never Got Over. I know I haven't mentioned it yet in my favorites or any of the sort because it's not my favorite. I think I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. It was just too much for me, so I will explain a little. I used to be a spice reader. I used to really enjoy reading spicy books, but something switched. I don't enjoy it anymore. If you've read this book, it's a lot. So I really wanted to enjoy it so that I could read whatever the next one is. I think Things We Hide from the Light, the pink one. I really wanted to read that, but if it's anything like this, I don't think I can. New favorite character. This is just a circle at this point because Juliet Ferrer. I would definitely say that Juliet is my new favorite character. I loved her. Oh, and Kenji. Not just as a fictional crush, but him as a character was amazing. I'm so excited for this part of the video because this is when I get to rant a little. Most disappointing. The book I was most disappointed in. Ugh, absolutely. I already said Things We Never Got Over kind of disappointed me, so yeah. Okay. Most disappointing, first of all, Outlawed by Anna North. Not just disappointing, but I hate this book. I think it should be burned. I was tricked, okay? I was tricked into buying this. I saw it, I'm in Texas. I saw a cowboy hat, saw Outlawed. I was like, finally, like a Western story. It's gonna be so cool. If you don't know what it's about, it is a woman, 17-year-old Ada. She can't have kids. And back in this time, 1894, they thought that you were a witch if you were barren. So I think they're gonna kill her, I believe is what almost happened. And so instead she runs off and she joins a gang. The plot doesn't make sense to me. It says that this is all a gang of barren women or like outcasted women, okay? So here I am thinking, oh, okay, it's like a kind of like a feminist book, like Outlawed, kind of feminist. That's okay. But the leader of the gang, they never reveal their gender. But it's a gang of barren women. So I don't have an issue that the leader was non-binary. I just have an issue that it didn't make sense because there's so many times where they slip up and address the character as a woman. I don't know, it kind of confused me because I didn't really see how powerful the message was supposed to be then, because if it's supposed to be this great gang of women, you know, they're all fighting back against the patriarchy, or, you know, just because you're barren doesn't mean you're a witch. And yet the leader isn't even, I guess, identifying as a woman. I really hated the book. Also, the action was disappointing. It wasn't just that part. It was the action, the whole storyline really did not make sense to me. So, 1. Okay, next, another disappointing book. Ugh, guys, Twisted Love. What the heck? 3 out of 5 stars. This book, I didn't expect it to be what it was. I really, really wanted to love this book because I heard so many good things. Everyone was saying to read it, but Alex is weird. And I did not like the girl. What's her name even? Ava. I didn't like Ava either. And once again, the spicy scenes, which I guess I should have guessed that there was going to be some. It's literally called Twisted Love. But they were a little too much for moi. Disappointing. Yeah. Worst book that I read. I put Outlawed under most disappointing, mainly because I had such high hopes. But I think I would put that under worst books, now that I think about it. But if we're going to go for worst book, the first book that I read of the year, bad start to the reading year, was Uglies. And I love my friend who recommended this, but I do not like this book. I struggled to finish this book. I skipped a lot. I really did not like the girl. I did not like any of them. The only person that I liked, I forget his name. Well, I don't know. But there's a guy in here. I think he's the love interest. And he was the only good part of this book. Otherwise, I absolutely hated it. I thought it was annoying and it sucked. I can't really explain it. I think it's a middle school book. So I know it was popular back then. I can tell you right now, I will not be completing the series. I just want to show you all the books that didn't get a mention. The other ones got their mention, so I'm not going to go all through them again, but I want to show you the books that I also read for part of the mid-year wrap-up. I read the complete Shatter Me series. I read Shatter Me in a Day, which is the only book I've ever read in a day, which was just mind-blowing to me. But I also read, I don't know if this is in order, but I read Restore Me, Defy Me, Imagine Me, Find Me, which is the novella and a combination of Shadow Me and Reveal Me, Unite Me, which is a combo of Destroy Me and Fracture Me. So that's the rest of the Shatter Me series. So I read the entire Shatter Me series, but I showed y'all the other ones. Last book that I read that did not get a mention, which I do actually really love this book, I just loved the other books more, is The Night Circus. I wanted to read this for so long. I found it at Half Price Books. I loved it. I think I just love magic, I guess, is what I found out this year. Annotated and everything. Love this book. Highly recommend it. But yeah, that was my little wrap-up slash rant of mid-year books. I do hope that y'all enjoyed this video, enjoyed my little rants. Hopefully you'll take some of my advice to read some of the books. Maybe read the books that I thought were disappointing, and hopefully you'll think otherwise, or tell me in the comments if you've read any of the books that I hated or that I loved, and tell me what you think about them if we have differing opinions. I would love to hear about that. But thank you so much for watching. I hope to see y'all in the next book video, and bye y'all.